Hello and welcome, teacher entrepreneur frenzies. We are hanging out in Italy today. I'm so excited to be here with my buddy Amanda. Amanda mentioned that she might be going to Italy this summer, maybe. So we have cool Italy backgrounds. You could check us out on YouTube. It's a lovely way to view the material because you get to see our bright and shining faces. Today, we're going to talk about courses. Should you buy the course or not? We've bought a lot of courses. We're kind of course junkies, so we have a lot to say about courses, and we're gonna, as usual, we are going to tell all. So stay tuned. All right, welcome back to the show. Man, it's been a long time since you've been here. Today, we're going to talk about courses. I think this is one thing that we have bonded on over the years. We both love buying courses, and when people are selling you courses, they always say that you're making an investment in yourself for more education. And I think as teachers, we love education. We love learning. We go to school, we get multiple degrees, even though we know they're not going to equate to more money. We go and take classes every year just to renew our licenses. We take classes for fun. We love learning. So I think as a teacherpreneur, I think that we are drawn to learning more. And if we can learn more about small business or how to make more money, we want to do it. And so, Amanda, do you want to share? I know we're kind of going in reverse order right now, but do you want to share, like, do you remember your first course that you ever bought, or how you heard about courses for entrepreneurs or for business? Like, instead of just like regular old teacher courses that you might want to learn about something online, or maybe you go to a conference. I mean, how did you learn about courses for entrepreneurs? Do you remember, or do you remember the first one you ever got?
I do. And you reminded me of, I think we bought the same course the first time. Do we want to talk about that, or do we want to fast forward in
Let's talk
time?
about it. There were some surprising things. So I think we could talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know. And what it was Periscope days. Do you remember when that was? Was that like 2016,
I think it was
2017?
actually 2000, was it 2015 or 16? I don't know, one of those 2 years.
Yeah.
Probably 16, but maybe I think it started the summer before, like in 15, but I don't know.
I
In that
was only
year.
a year old then.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, and I think we really fell in love with a big personality on Periscope. Uh, Maybe some of you remember her. And I met her in person. Did you meet her in person?
Yeah, because we went to the same meetup together and we both met her in person the same day.
Yeah, and we were like fangirls. Sheila
Yeah.
Jane Teaching. Do you remember her membership? So she had a membership.
That's how we met. Well, I don't know if that's how we met. We met in the comments. We were talking to each other in her live videos, and we were talking to each other back and forth. And then we joined her membership, was called Teach Happy Membership or something
Yes.
like that. And it was inexpensive. It was like $7 to $9 a month, somewhere in there. And it was a platform where there were forums, and then she had a bunch of videos that she made, and it was more of like a badge, right? Like, oh, you're a Teach Happy member, I'm a Teach Happy member. It was something that was, she was trying to build a community of
Well,
teachers.
and I won a year. Like I
You
remember
did?
doing something
No way.
to win a whole year. Yeah. And you don't remember
Really?
that?
No.
Yeah. So I didn't
You
even
win the
actually,
craziest things because you also won a meeting with like the TPT CEO one year. Remember that?
yeah, at the Teachers Pay Teachers
Why are
conference.
you
Yeah.
winning all of these cool things?
Oh, I know. And remember when we would go to the California
Meet
meetups?
up, and you
The
would win stuff there too.
I always won really cool shoes
I won cool shoes one year too, and it was the year you didn't go.
and LuLaRoe leggings. Those were
Don't
just
even
so
get me
fun.
going. Stop.
I still wear
Can we,
those.
can we get back to the question? What is the first course you ever bought as an entrepreneur? Do you
Oh,
remember?
yes, of course. Well, and when we say courses, like, I mean, there's so many different types of courses out there, and there are, I think most teacherpreneurs are aware of the $1,000+ courses that exist, right? And these payment plans of like, and so the first like 1,000+ course that I bought, and it wasn't really a course, I guess it is a course, was Marie Forleo's B School. That was the first like really, like I spent a lot of money on that. And I actually kind of went in debt a little bit because I didn't have enough money to pay for, I think it's like $1,600 or maybe more for B School. And yeah, and I think the reason that I bought it was because I really wanted to commit to making a lot of money online. And I feel like a lot of times these really expensive courses, you think, okay, if this thing is that expensive, then it must work. If I follow it, like if I do XYZ and I like attend all the office hours and I really put myself out there and do everything she tells me to do, then I'm going to make my money back plus some, right? Like I feel like that's kind of what they convince us of. These people that sell these like super, super pricey courses. Um, and I think we have to be careful because just because you follow someone's like formula doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. I mean, that might be like an unpopular
Yeah.
decision. And I don't regret buying. I'm still in B school. And actually I just participated again this year in all the office hours with Marie, and her stuff is like so good, and she really doesn't hold back anything. She gives you all the tools, all the information. Like, I mean, she's really, it's like buying, like a premium thing, like I feel like her B school is, the cream of the crop of courses that exist out there. But did I make my money back from buying it? I don't really know if I did.
I know a lot of people that have graduated from B school, and like, I mean, some people have and some people haven't. So, like, I don't know. I did not buy B school, but I did buy a very expensive course too. And I know that I've told you about that because we've actually talked about it. It's called Digital Course Academy from Amy Porterfield.
And they're
And that's
friends.
also, yeah, they are friends. And that was also many thousands of dollars. And I can't even tell you like why I bought it. It was like, because this is like the end of my course mania. I had like kind of got a little like in a frenzy over buying courses. So, I mean, I started with a teacher entrepreneur course by two teacher entrepreneurs. One of them was Sheila Jane, right? Like I started with that. It was like a $200 course or
We
something.
both bought that.
Yeah. And one interesting thing I found out, because in my world, I thought, or in my head, I thought courses online were going to be all videos, right? Because that's what I was kind of used to learning from the people that I had bought it from. And then I found in that course, it wasn't, they were sound bites. They were like miniature podcasts. So like sometimes you go into buying the course and you don't know. And then there's another course that I had bought uh very very shortly afterwards, the Pinning Perfect course. You've probably heard of it. It's like the number one course for Pinterest, and every year they change it as Pinterest changes so much. But Pinning Perfect course, no videos, and it's almost all PDFs, so you got to read. It's like you're just kind of buying an ebook about how to pin better. And do some of the stuff in the book work? Absolutely, it did. I don't know, Pinterest is kind of like a whole new beast right now. But yeah, Pinning Perfect, executed some of the steps and I was getting more traction on my pins. I mean, it really did work, but it was hard to learn that way because I like looking at a talking face, like a teacher talking to me through a video. And both of those courses were just different formats than I thought. So I guess I think the first tip, I know this isn't really a tip podcast right now, but the first tip I would give for people looking is like, maybe investigate how the course is taught. And do you like that format? Because they're not all, pretty people sitting in an office trying to teach you something through a video, right? Sometimes it's a ebook, a PDF file. Sometimes it's like a podcast, an audio bite. Sometimes you go to like one of the lessons and they've just typed everything out, like almost like on a piece of paper, right? And so I would recommend, we've bought a range of courses from very inexpensive. I paid $7 for a course all the way up to $5,000. And I would just recommend, like, I wish I would have looked a little bit more into like what I was buying. Like instead of buying, like every single time I buy the promise, right? The course creators sell you a promise. If you if you do this course, this could happen to you, right? They're selling
It
you a promise.
could, but it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, they never really guarantee it. But then they have all these testimonials of people that did the course and they're like, oh, yeah, that happened to us. So you got to believe them. Right. And so you kind of get sucked in a little bit. Or like when I buy the $7 courses, they're like, this is $900 worth of material for $7. Are you a dummy? Because you're getting $7, a $7 course that's worth 1,000,
And that's called a
and then you're just like,
tripwire.
you're like, oh. So I wish I would have looked a little bit more into the formatting. Like, and I do now when I'm looking for courses or something like that, I'm always looking at like, what exactly do I get? Like, how many videos are there? How many pages of an ebook are there? How many sound bites are there? What is the format? Once I get inside, what is going to happen to me? Because I have been a little disappointed before. Like I bought different things or they beat around the bush. They don't really tell you what you want to know. They're telling you all of these
Love.
stories, and they're almost like you're listening to a book written about like fables, like, oh, this person did this and that person did that. And really you just want, for me personally, I just kind of want a clear step plan. Tell me what to do, XYZ, and what's the fastest way I can get in here and figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't get that. And so I would warn people, like when they're course shopping, make sure you're getting like, like either you love the teachers and the teachers are so good, you like listening to them talk, you want to learn more from them, you connect to their personalities, or you really dig into what you're getting before you buy it, so you're going to get the content that you're looking for.
Well, and I would also say, do they have office hours? Do they have opportunities for you to actually like ask questions and get feedback? Like I just really literally a month ago purchased a $1,400 course called the Course by Courtney. I know, I love the name.
This is
And
so funny.
Courtney Foster Donahue. And you introduced me to her because she has this other kind of, it's like more of like a tripwire type of course called Pocket Products. And so I bought that first, which was I think like $50. And it was so good. It was exactly like what you were talking about. Like she gets straight to the point, and she
Yes,
has
I
so
do really
many
like her.
really brilliant ideas that are not out there that like a lot of gurus don't talk about. And like, for example, did you know that you could actually like sell a course that you haven't even built yet and get paid for it? Like she has a whole system for how you can actually get paid to make your course, which I was just like, this is brilliant. And like, I just think she's really brilliant and I respect her a lot. And like, and I fell hook, line, and sinker into her funnel because I bought the Pocket Products. I was like, this is so good. This is so helpful. And then she has a new email sequence and she emails all the time. Like her headlines are amazing. She's such a good copywriter. And she sold me on the course. And she has the reason that I bought it was because I had experience with the cheaper course and I really got some really quick wins with that. And I was like, okay, she knows her stuff. She's like a millionaire, and a lot of these gurus are. But she has a Facebook group that you always have access to. And she's in there every weekday answering people's questions. Like if you want to show her your sales page, she'll like do a like sale, like she'll, and I've interacted with her multiple times, and she'll come in there. She also has office hours every month. And so just that amount uh of hand holding, like that's what I paid for, like that I paid to be able to interact with her, like actually on a one-on-one basis. And the other thing that I think is really important to look into but before you purchase a course, so like how much interaction do you get with the teacher of the course? And then also, is this what my business needs right now? That I feel like that question is so key. Like whatever you decided your goals are for the year or whatever, does this match? Does this align? Or is it something that you can put off for maybe next year? Because people who sell courses, they open the doors regularly, like throughout the year. And so like for me, I'm really focusing on trying to build my passive income, and like not so high touch with customers. And I thought, building a course with someone, because I've built 2 courses by myself, not really knowing what I was doing. Um, and now I'm like building a course with the help of someone who knows what they're doing. Um, and and so it's just more strategic. And so I did think, yes, this is what my business needs right now. I need to know how to actually like build a course strategically and sell it strategically. And she's got like a really great process, like you said, like a step by step. Here's what you do, you know. But she's also really honest about like there are no guarantees here. Like you got to put in the work, and it has to be the right course at the right time for the right people, and like all of this stuff. So um, but have I made my money back yet? No, I mean, I just bought it a month ago. Um, but I did feel like it was a good investment in my business right now at this time.
I love that. And then, of course, we got to give Shelly Reese a shout out. I mean, if you are a Teachers Pay Teachers seller listening to this, I have bought a lot of Teachers Pay Teachers sellers courses, and I really love Shelly Reese. She was a teacher for 20 years, over 20 years in Pennsylvania. I started buying her TPT products. Like that's how I, got to know her. And yeah, teacher in the classroom for over 20 years. And then she did exactly what you should do is she started putting her lessons on Teachers Pay Teachers from those 20 years of experience. And they are amazing lessons. And then like her store grew really quick that first year. She became very successful, very popular, left teaching to run her TPT business full time. And now she has her course. And I don't know like exactly what the name of it is, but I know one thing that really works with Shelly Reese's courses are she does a lot of challenges. Her course is called Focus Success. And she's so good at like, I think when I talk to Teachers Pay Teachers sellers, a lot of them, they kind of do get in a rut, and they do get kind of like us where they were really excited about it to begin with, and they build this store and they put all these products in it, and then they start making money and they kind of get really, really, really into the Teachers Pay Teachers world. And then you kind of get distracted and you start doing other things. Maybe the things that you learned about going to the Teachers Pay Teachers conference, like blogging and podcasting and all the things that we do to sell more products. She just really gets back to the basics of being focused as a product creator. And I just have to give her a huge shout out. Like if people are kind of like, listening to these different, courses that we've taken thinking, where should I go with it? If you're a Teachers Pay Teachers seller, obviously Focus Success is like a really good like introductory into course land. I've never met a single person who regrets it. And I've met a lot of people that have taken her course.
Well, yeah, no, and you know what I love about teacherpreneur courses, like courses that have been created by teacherpreneurs, because I've taken a few too. I've bought a few things. Kristen Doyle and Aaron
Yeah.
Waters. What I love about them is, I mean, they really bring it. Like they really have tons of really inspiring ideas and like systems and things like that. And I love that they're reasonably priced. Like, no, I don't feel
Yes.
like any teacherpreneur who's selling to other teacherpreneurs is like charging thousands of dollars, and like I just do you know, well,
Let's not even bring that up. We all know that there's one.
oh, there is. Okay, well, I haven't bought anything that I just, I mean, and I really do. And same with Jenna Kutcher. Like, she's big time. She's like one of those big time guru entrepreneurs. She's not a teacherpreneur. But I've bought so many things from her because they're reasonably priced. Like, they're like 50, $60. But sometimes when you buy something that's that cheap, I think that's pretty cheap. I mean, if you're making any money on Teachers Pay Teachers, you can afford that, like 1 month with your income. And like, I think that's another thing that we need to remember is that, this is an investment in your business. So you're using the profits that you're making from Teachers Pay Teachers and you're putting them back into your business, and you can write that stuff off for taxes and things, like that's good. That's not income. That's like going back in your business. And I just forgot what I was about to say. Oh, Jenna Kutcher. Yeah, like all of she just has like, reasonably priced stuff. But the danger in that is sometimes you buy these things that are cheaper and then you never like look at it again, like you have like you put these, like it's like books, like I have so many professional development books that I'm like, I need this, it's going to make me a better teacher, I have to have it now, like that impulse buy. And then it arrives in the mail a couple of weeks later and I'm like, okay, I will read this, I promise you. And then I put it in the bookshelf and like I never pick it up again. And I don't know, like I know that can happen with courses that are a little cheaper. But like if you invest $1,400, $1,500 in something, I think usually you finish it, like you complete that thing. I don't know, not always, but for me at least, if I spend that much money, it's like I'm committing to actually doing it. Um, and so that's
Yeah,
one of the things.
I think you just have to be careful. And then of course, social credit is worth a lot. Like listen to your friends, or if you have any TPT buddies, or if you have any other entrepreneur friends, listen to, like, maybe they've taken a course, or they've come across, like you heard about the one, that course you just bought from me, right?
Mhm.
Like you heard about that lady from me, just talking about it very casually. And I basically just saw her Facebook ads and kind of liked how much information she was putting out there in them, right? Like I liked the tone of her voice, the way that she like phrases things. And then I'm telling other people. So like you can always kind of like talk to your friends and stuff. And if they've taken it and they're giving rave reviews and you really get along with that person, that could be a good indicator that you're really going to like it too.
Yeah, I actually just had some teacherpreneur friend Vox me and say, "Hey, have you taken Stu? You know Stu, the membership dude? I can't even remember. I don't know his last name. I just know his name is Stu. He's been on Amy. He's friends with Amy Porterfield. He's been on her. Amy Porterfield started her membership with his help, I guess. So he's like the membership guru, right? Like he helps people build their memberships, and he just did his launch. And I had a friend Vox me like, "Are you in Stu's tribe, membership tribe?" And I don't know why, but I never did purchase that. Like I just because I'm kind of done with memberships at this point. But because it's just, I think, too high touch for me right now with customers. But I think his stuff is good. I've heard good things about him, but I've not actually been in his his course or his membership before. Have you heard of him? You've never heard of
No,
him?
never heard of him.
Oh, well, I don't know. He closed his doors, but I'm sure he'll open them again. I think he only does it like once a year.
Yeah.
But I mean, he makes millions of dollars. But the other thing, okay, the last thing, I don't know if you have a last thing, but the last thing I want to say is a lot of times these people, like for example, Stu, um, everything they're doing, everything that you see that they're doing, you just like save it. Like I saved all his emails. I saved a screenshot of his sales page. You know what I mean? So I feel like in a way, like I'm kind of like, I know what his course is about. I know what his membership is about because everything that he's doing himself as an entrepreneur is what's working for him, obviously. And like I see Facebook ads like retargeting me, and like all the emails that he sends a ton of emails selling his course. And so, like, if you want to sell or his membership, if you want to sell a course or you want to sell a membership, you just have to spy on that person for a while to see what they're doing, like attend their webinars or like take screenshots of their stuff, save their emails and just like replicate it for your own subject area, like.
Yeah, Amanda has a whole file of sales pages that she likes. And I've never thought about doing this in my whole life, which is
Well, I use
why I think that this is why I think that our collaboration together goes so well because you do things that I would never think of. Like,
well and let me just tell everyone, I use this Chrome extension called Go Full Page. It's called Go Full Page. And so anytime I see like a lead magnet or like a really cool pop-up or like a really awesome sales page, I will take screenshots because like I tell my students sometimes when they struggle with writing, just use a mentor text like it's Mad Libs. And you can use a sales page like it's Mad Libs.
yeah,
Use similar words,
I do think that's one of your hottest tips too.
change the words inside yeah, like to fit what you're, selling or what you're about. Anyways, what else do you have to say about buying courses? Do you have any
I
other?
mean, I think that we went over a lot. It's just that you do get to be kind of a collector of them. So make sure that you got to ask yourself, is this right for my business right now? And give yourself a window of time. Could I get this done in the next 3 months? Or is it just something I'm collecting to be a part of the cool kid club and I'm never going to look at it again? I mean, you got to be choosy. Know that you can use them as deductions, right? Like you can write them off. So that's great. But are you doing it? Are you like doing it, to live like some sort of hype going on, like some sort of FOMO that you're having, like you want to be in that club? Or is it something that could really push your business into this next area that you want to get into? And what kind of content, like how is the content delivered? Are you going to like that kind of content? And do you think it's really going to like move you to that next level? Because I mean, it should always be about progressing your own business goals, like not just like kind of wanting to live up to the, like, does this thing live up to the hype? I'm going to buy it and see. That's a really bad thing to do. And I've done that before.
Well,
I've been like, oh, this must be amazing. It's only $1,000. It's probably going to be great. Like why did I used to think that way a few years ago, and then after I bought that $5,000 course, I was like, I need to slow down on courses. I'm not going to buy any more until I've caught up on all the ones I've already bought. Like I limited myself, and I really haven't. I've bought a few pocket courses here and there, like really inexpensive ones, but like not, I haven't made any major purchases on courses in probably like 3 years because I'm like, okay, you can't even finish these really expensive ones. Like, so I kind of, sometimes you have to cut yourself off and limit yourself and then keep reassessing your goals.
well, and pay attention to the teacher. How much interaction are you going to get with the teacher? And then also one last thing, guarantees. Like, do they have like a money back guarantee, like a 30-day money back guarantee, things like that? Because yeah, you really do want to look into that to see like if it's not meeting your expectations, which I think both of us are so much people pleasers that sometimes we get into a course, it doesn't meet our expectations, and we're like, oh, well, we don't get a refund or anything because we don't want controversy or conflict. But
I've never asked for a refund before,
me
but that's a good
neither.
thing. Like, I'm gonna actually use that in my own life now. Like, next time a course is wooing me over, I'm gonna be like, what's the refund policy?
Yeah, well, you do. But I look into that and I never actually take advantage of it, even though there's been times I probably should have. But I think this is a really good, helpful episode for people listening because it is the summer soon, and I think a lot of teachers are looking for learning opportunities. So
For sure.
cool, cool.
Well, toodles, toodles for now.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Alrighty.